Hello everyone, this is Lincoln Prime, and today we are taking a look at the brand new Godzilla vs. Kong Playmates Titan Tech Godzilla and Kong figures. I was lucky enough to find these guys today, and oh boy, when I saw the reveal images for both these figures, I always thought the Godzilla figure looked good, but the Kong figure, oh boy. But in person, they're not as bad as I thought. They actually exceeded my expectations, which is a huge plus. But anyways, let us get right on into the review. Overall, these figures stand at about 7 to 8 inches tall, and while they're not super big, they are big compared to, like, the 6-inch Godzilla and Kong figures, so they are pretty decently sized. Now, while some people may not exactly like these figures, there is something that I do like about them because they do bring back a nostalgic feeling. Time for a little bit of a trivia lesson here. Back around the early 90s, Playmates Toys released a line called Mutations. This was for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. And back around that era, Transformers were also pretty popular. And what did Playmates give us? Probably one of the most bizarre wave of figures I've ever seen. Basically, these figures have the ability to transform. So say a Ninja Turtle figure would go from its baby form into its Ninja Turtle form. The idea of this was always really cool to me because at the time I was really into Transformers, and seeing two of my favorite things being, Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being able to at least transform was so cool to me. And now getting to see these figures pretty much follow that same kind of idea, especially considering the fact that they are also from Playmates, it just makes me insanely happy, what can I say? Now, there is another thing that these figures do call back to, specifically the Godzilla figure, and that is Trendmasters. Trendmasters had came up with a line of Godzilla figures that were basically armored up. So more or less, this Godzilla figure is a callback to those Trendmaster figures. But anyways, that's enough for the trivia element. Let's get back into the review. First off, I would like to start off with the Kong figure, and oh boy, what can I say here? This figure does not look all that great. Yeah, when we got those leaked images, having it in person did not really help it too much. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not an awful figure. I actually really do like this figure. The thing that's really killing it is the head. Kind of looks like either Mojo or the Blob from X-Men, I'm not gonna lie. That double chin is not doing him any justice whatsoever. One thing he's got going for him is that his eyes are painted evenly, so that's good. But then you look at the teeth and the mouth, and it's just a weird mess of colors. Like, how did that pink stuff get in there? Also, the gums aren't painted, so that's kind of a bit of a negative, but what can you do? You get the 3 claw scratch marks on the chest, and that is pretty much painted on. There's really no, like, molded detail for that. It's just paint. So that's a bit meh, but the fur detail is actually really good. So I am seeing some elements from, say, like other Kong figures, mainly just like this being, say, like a blown up version of the 6-inch Playmates Kong figures that we've gotten, except with a completely different mold. The only similarities I could see are probably the fists, the feet, the legs, and like at least part of the torso, but that's really about it in terms of similarities between the two. Overall, just, yeah, he's very bulky at the top, maybe a little too bulky. Overall, I guess from a distance he doesn't look too bad, but then you have just the I really do not like this head at all. Overall, though, the paint job is not too bad. I mean, I talked about the eyes. The eyes are well painted. We do get the claw marks as well. I talked about that. We do get kind of this faded area, so it's kind of like a darker color compared to the fur. So that is pretty cool. But there's really nothing else in terms of paint in that aspect. That's really all you get. So there's not really much going on here besides just, the paint and detail being kind of mid, not gonna lie, but it's an okay figure. Now, Kong here does come with an accessory. He comes with his axe, but this is a very different axe than what we have seen with other Playmates Godzilla versus Kong figures. We do get like this really cool looking gold detail over the dorsal fin, sorry. And then we get this blue kind of dorsal fin looking thing. I don't know what this is, but it's interesting. It is very interesting. But one cool thing, you will notice that there is a port here, and yes, you can actually store this on the back. Weapon storage on a Godzilla versus Kong figure. Who would have thought? But yes, it can basically store like that, and that doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, it looks kind of weird considering that he has a gaping hole in his skin, so yeah. But not a bad looking accessory if I do say so myself, although I do have some paint chips on that side. Not too bad though. I guess that's fixable, but I don't really care. Overall though, that is pretty much just about it for all this stuff with Kong. Now let's talk about the transformation. First, what we are going to do is we're going to come down here to the legs, take these sections right here, untab them and fold them out like so, and like so, and then just bring these around. Take this section, rotate it down and tab it in, and then take this part right here, flip that out and flip it back, and it'll just snap in place like that. Do the same thing on the other side, rotate that around, flip that back, flip these around like so, and they are snapped in pretty securely, so that is good. And then just bring those around, and there we have that. Then take these sections right in here. There's a little panel right here that will flip down over the fist. Bring that down, and then take these sections, flip them out like that, and flip them out like that, and they will pretty much just kind of lock into place like that. And then now take this section and bring it down. Ow, that looks painful. And then we will do the same thing on the other side. Bring that down, take these sections, flip them out like so. Actually, bring this section down first to make it easier, and then bring these out like that and like that. And there is a lot of really nice inner detail, as well as like on the inside of the fist, like even that's painted, so that's really, really cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the limbs. Now what we're going to do next is take these sections right here and try to split them. I do recommend maybe flipping this down and then splitting them from the back like that. And then we're going to take these sections, flip them out. These are like the little shoulder pad parts, and then take this entire section, rotate it around, flip the head down, and then that will reveal the alternate head. And then bring these back up, tab them in, and then bring that up, tab that in. Then take this section and fold it up like so, and give him the axe. And here we have the Titan Tech Kong in Titan Tech mode. As a person who also reviews Transformers, referring to a Kong figure as a Transformer feels so insanely weird. But now let us talk about the detail. We do have a lot of really nice paint, like silver painted detail on, you know, a lot of areas, like, you know, on the shins, the thighs, the sides of the thighs, the forearms, the insides, like these little coolant tube bits, like that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of really nice paint on here. We do get the monarch symbol, and then as well as his chest piece, and then yeah, Big Monkey have glasses. He got glasses. Not only does he have glasses, he has a gaming headset microphone. So that's yeah. It doesn't look bad though. It doesn't look bad. This is probably just one of the most silliest things I've ever seen though. I'm not going to deny that. But we do get the shoulder cannons, and then this part right here which just kind of flips out. I really don't know what this is. It might just be like a microphone antenna piece or something. I don't know. But we do get missile detail, and there's like gold and all that kind of stuff. There's also gold here and on a few other parts, which does look very, very nice. But honestly, they did a really good job with the paint detail for the mecha parts. I think that they did an outstanding job with that, so I will give them that. But overall, just, you know, by itself, this doesn't look too bad. I think that this is a pretty decent looking figure. Now either way, it wouldn't have made a difference, but let's talk about articulation, since it's pretty much the same in both modes. But we do get articulation at the arms. They can go out about that far and in about that much, rotate all the way around full 360 degrees, and that is about it for the arms. The legs can kick forward about that much, back not at all, and then we can go out about that much, so that is pretty decent. And then the feet do swivel. So in terms of articulation, that is pretty much about it for Titan Tech Kong here. So yeah. So we've pretty much covered the entirety of the Titan Tech Kong figure, and now let us move on to the Big G himself. And oh boy, does this figure just hit all the right spots. It is a basic Playmates looking Godzilla figure, but it's a basic looking Playmates Godzilla figure that transforms, so that But overall, like, you know, detail looks really good. You know, we don't really get any like dry brushing or anything like that for here. Not a huge deal. I think one of my biggest gripes is like how we get blue here and then like nothing throughout the tail, because that's what we usually always get with like these Playmates figures. But no, we really don't. Overall though, I do like the kind of charcoal black color scheme for the skin. I do like the rough details and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it does kind of get lost. You know, the mold does get lost within itself, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, so I mean, detail is actually really good. I do like the scaly detail. I like the detail on the tail. I'm not a big fan of the very visibly large screws, but you know, that's just a me thing, I guess. But yeah. One thing I will say is that the eyes are kind of wonky looking. I'm really not gonna lie. Like, they look like they're drooping. He looks like he was crying out literal rivers, and then just, there's a pupil. I mean, the pupil is nicely painted, but the eyes just look kind of weird to me, I'm not gonna lie. But it is not a big deal. I do like the clear for the dorsal fins. Don't know why that's hard for me to say today. We do, you know, the clear blue plastic just looks really good. These are very rounded compared to most that I've seen, so I'm pretty sure that's just a safety thing. And speaking of safety things, the tip of the tail is rubbery plastic, but I don't think that's going to stop it from gouging out a kid's eye. So yeah, they tried, but they probably failed. Who knows? Only time will tell if a kid actually loses an eye because of this thing, but you know. Overall though, I think the physique and like just how this figure looks is just so good to me. Now, in terms of the articulation, we do get a hinge joint at the jaw, so it can open about that much and close about that much. This was kind of tight for me outside the box, but I was able to get it moving and working, so there we go. The arms can go all the way around. Not really, never mind. They cannot go all the way around, but they could have if this was not blocking it. We do get two swivels at the wrist. The legs can move forward about that much and back about that much, and then there is a swivel at the foot, and then we do have a swivel at the tail, and the tail does come detached within the box, so you do have to assemble that, but that is pretty much about it. So articulation is pretty basic for your average Playmates Godzilla figure, and it wouldn't be Titan Tech if it didn't transform. To start off with, what we are going to do is we're going to come down here to the legs, take these sections, flip them forward, and snap them in. Take these sections, rotate them around like so. Do the same thing right here, rotate around, snap it in, and flip that section up like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Take this, flip it up, tab it in, take this, rotate it around, tab that in, untab this, rotate it, tab it in, flip this section up like so, and that will just rest. So that is pretty much the legs all done. Next, what we're going to do is come here to the back of the tail, flip this section up, rotate this up, and then flip this down and tab it in. This little section can rotate. I don't think that's part of the transformation, more so just a slight gimmick, so that is pretty neat. Next, what we're going to do is take this section and rotate that around just so I don't forget. So now we can continue. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the body and completely split it in half. Yeah. Anyways, so take this section, untab it, bring this entire assembly down, rotate this around like so, and then bring that down. Tab this part in like so. Try to align that properly. Come on. There we go. Just like that. And then there's also a miniature tab right in here, so that should go inside of that little groove like so, and then just bring that down. And then I would kind of keep these out, keep these in like that for now. And then finally, what we were going to do, just to kind of complete this, flip this section down, flip this up, rotate this back, tab it in like so. Do the same thing on the other side, rotate this around, flip that out, and then close that. Now just take these sections, bring them out like so, and that kind of completes the chest area. Now what we'll do here is we'll take these sections, close them, and then there are little holes and tabs that will just kind of align. So you're going to just tab these together all the way down like so, come on, and like so. This one, because of how small it is a bit challenging. And then all we got to do next is take this section, flip this out, and then take these sections right here on the sides, untab them, bring it out like so, untab, bring out like so, and there we have the Titan Tech Godzilla fully transformed into its Titan Tech mode. Yep, still feels weird to say. And I know I said I was done with trivia, but there is one more thing I would like to mention. Titan Tech Godzilla here is actually a repurposed version of, drumroll please, anyone remember the Mega Godzilla figure that Playmates was going to release for the GVK line? Yeah, that's what this is, except blue. It doesn't have the red plastic. Now this is a lot more different from what that was going to be. I'm pretty sure all that was going to be was a regular Mega Godzilla figure with armor. So like armor that you pop on. With this is just armor that's inside the figure and folds out to give it an armored look. So they did obviously change a lot of things, especially the size. That's another thing that they changed. So this one is obviously smaller to kind of at least I guess work a bit better. But yeah, this is pretty much just the unreleased Mega Godzilla figure that we never got, but slightly different. Overall though, I'm really glad that they found a way to at least get it out there in some way, and I think this is a lot better than probably what they had in mind originally. Now unlike Kong, this does not have a lot of silver detail to it. All we really get is just this part right here, these coolant tubes right here, and like this little blade and like these smaller blades on the shins, but that's really about it. The rest is just blue plastic and blue plastic and painted blue. So that is really just about it. But honestly, I really like how this looks, because I think that if we had the Mega Godzilla figure with just the red, it just would have looked weird. So I do like the blue. I prefer the blue a lot better, considering that emulates, Godzilla's atomic glow to him a little bit better. So I'm glad that they went with this instead. But yeah, just there's a lot of really cool stuff going on here with this Goji figure. Now there is one thing that does bother me though, and that is there's only one blade on this arm and there's nothing on this arm. Kind of wish that they did include a second blade to make it symmetrical, because now it just looks asymmetrical. And because literally everything else is symmetrical except for that arm, and that just it irks me a little bit, but not a big deal. But yeah, just there's a lot of stuff going on with this figure, and I really enjoy the look of it. And also with this part right here, I'm not the biggest fan of like this section, just how clumpy it looks, but I mean, the fact that it transforms so that it can match the spines is also really cool to me. And like also these sections just folding out and going over like these little, I don't know if these are missile sections or something, but I think that just looks really cool. But I think my favorite part is just the dorsal spine cage. It reminds me of a Spinosaurus, I'm not gonna lie, just it does. And but I really like how that looks. It's not clear or anything like the dorsal fins, but not a huge deal. Now these are, I could definitely tell, are at least some kind of missiles or knives or something, I don't know. Same here with like the sides of the shins, but there's just a lot going on with this figure, so yeah. And here we have both the Titan Tech Kong and Godzilla together, and oh my god, do these look so good together. Now I will say, if I were to prefer one out of the two, hands down, there's no doubt I'm going for Godzilla. While the Kong is a fun figure, the Godzilla just looks better, and it's fun. Kong is just fun. He doesn't look that great, but Godzilla looks great and is fun to play with. So Godzilla's the clear winner of this battle. For some quick size comparisons, here we have the Titan Tech Godzilla and Kong next to a basic high-grade Gundam, Voyager class Transformer, and a Deluxe class Transformer. And so this was the review for the Titan Tech Godzilla and Kong figures from Playmates Godzilla vs. Kong toy line. And I gotta say, I think these figures are absolutely fun, and I think kids would absolutely love these figures. Now, there's one thing that people will definitely not love. Remember when they first announced these and they said that retail price was for $14 to $15? That is no longer the case due to stupid inflation. Because of inflation, these figures now cost $20 each. And no, I didn't get ripped off. I got these at Target, the store that sells these figures, for $20. So I'm not gonna lie, yes, they're fun, but $20 is it's not worth it. It's really not. I'd like to say it's worth it, but easily these figures would probably go for around $14, $15. I wish that they did. But inflation, that's just how it goes. But if you didn't really care about what you're spending on these guys, then yes, I would highly recommend getting these, especially if you can find them, because they are hitting shelves like you would not believe right now. So if you can find both of these, or at least just the Godzilla or the Kong, I'd say pick up both, or one of each one if you couldn't find one or the other. But yeah, these are really, really good figures in my opinion. I think that they're super fun. I love the idea of transforming Godzilla versus Kong figures. That just sounds so cool to me, mainly with Godzilla. But yeah, I mean, but that's pretty much about it for this review. But I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Now time for me to figure out whether or not I put this review under the Transformers playlist or not.